Minasan yoroshiku. Kyou wa we'll be reading Twinkle, a book I found at the library. So, ちょっとストーリータイムしましょうよ。Twinkle's wings were glowing with excitement. Tra-la-la, she sang, I'm a little fairy with sparkling wings. When I get my wand, I'll do amazing things. It was Twinkle's first day at the Fairy School of Magic and Music, and she couldn't wait to learn fancy spells like all the big fairies. Twinkle skipped in line with all the little fairies waiting for wands. Her wish came true when she got a sparkling peachy pink one. Shiny fairy notebooks and glittery pens appeared on all of the desks. We'll start with a simple spell, said Miss Flutterby. Abracadabra, skiddle-dee-dee. This stool will now become a tree. Before she could blink, Twinkle found herself perched away up in a pear tree with Pippa and Lulu waving below. Now it's your turn, said Miss Flutterby to the class. Pippa and Lulu swooshed their wands and bingo! They were happily dangling from a plum tree. Twinkle tried swooshing her wand, but she got it all wrong. Instead of sitting in a plum tree, she was upside down in a prickly holly bush. Ouch! Cried Twinkle, and Miss Flutterby had to rescue. Now, remember to practice at home, said Miss Flutterby, but no spells at night. You don't want to call a ruckus, do you? That afternoon, Twinkle and her friends did their homework together. This is fun, said Pippa, turning a teapot into a tiara. I love doing spells, said Lulu, changing bananas into balloons. But Twinkle's swooshes were rather clumsy, and so her spells just got sillier and sillier. Don't worry, Twinks, said Pippa and Lulu. We can practice again tomorrow. That night, Twinkle was in such a tizzy, she couldn't sleep a wink, and she forgot all Miss Flutterby's warnings. Fairies never give up, Twinkle said to herself. She leaped out of bed and waved her wand like Pippa and Lulu. But she couldn't quite remember the magic words. Abracadabra, fiddle-dee-dee. それは違うんでしょ? Her wings fluttered wildly. As the bed began swinging, the rocking chair started rocking. The alarm clock kept ringing, and the lights were flashing. Twinkle's cozy little fairy pod was shaking and swaying, banging and clanging. Help, she shouted as the rumpus continued. それはめんどくさいよ. One by one, all the creatures in Sparkle Tree Forest woke up, and they were not very happy. Bumblebees and ladybugs buzzed, grumpy gremlins and bullfrogs croaked, and groggy birds and bats fell out of the trees. Who's making all the racket? Screeched the owl. Stop the ruckus, shouted the squirrel. Fiddlesticks and fairy cakes, said Twinkle, waving her wand faster and faster, but the crashing and banging only got louder. The next morning, every creature in the forest was howling and complaining outside of Twinkle's door. Sorry about my silly spells, said Twinkle, and she dashed off to see Miss Flutterby. Gracious gremlin, said Miss Flutterby in surprise when she saw the parade of insects and animals following Twinkle. I'm having a spot of trouble with my homework, said Twinkle. I kept forgetting the magic words. Since you love to sing, try singing your spells instead. Maybe that'll help you remember, suggested Miss Flutterby. Brilliant, said Twinkle, and got her wings glowing bright pink again. After today, that day, Twinkle flew home singing the magic words, Abracadabra, skiddle-dee-dee, fix the mess that's up in my tree. それはちょっと面白いよ. And when she arrived, Twinkle was overjoyed to see everything back in its place again. As the sun set over Sparkle Tree Forest, Twinkle sprinkled fairy dust over the treetops and sang a lullaby to all the forest creatures just to make sure they had a really great sleep. Good night, sleep tight, with dreams in your head. Tomorrow we'll have lots of fun, but now it's time for bed. We will be reading is called Princesses Wear Pants. So, もう一回ストーリータイムしますよ. To all of who choose to read this book, it's time to give princesses a second look. The Pineapple Kingdom was a story to share of a special princess and a surprising affair. Affairかな? Princess Penelope Pineapple was her name, with brown eyes, pink cheeks, and pigtails of fame. The one thing more admired than her long flowy tresses was her closet full of tiaras and dazzling dresses. Penny was the daughter of a king and queen. Atop a Pineapple Castle she could often be seen, with her brother Felipe and the royal cat, Miss Fuzzy Wiggles. What a silly name is that? A proper young lady, Penny could paint, sing, and dance. But did you know about her collection of pants? Crowns and gowns have their place, no doubt. But that's not all this girl was about. She loved to sparkle, loved ruffles too. But I wear pants, she said, 'cause I've got things to do. 私もそのことあります. Early each morning as the sun would rise, Penny got up to exercise. She'd pull on her yoga pants and t-shirt, because a workout, of course, is not the place for a skirt. それは違うよ. Tending the garden was a very big job, growing tomatoes and corn on the cob. To feed those in need of a meal is my duty, said the princess in pants, paying no mind to beauty. パンツが好きけど. A pilot in the Pineapple Air Command, she did high-flying tricks while guarding the land. In her sequined flight suit, Penny was never scared. She flipped the lights, higher and higher she dared. And Penny hosted the Pineapple Science Fair, a place for kids with ideas to share. With solar stars, robots, and cures for the sick, her lab coat and corduroys did just the trick. But sometimes Penny just liked to unwind, wearing comfy old jeans, the patched up kind. She'd read books or daydream or write a long letter to Great Grandma Pineapple to make her feel better. それはかわいいよ. 次は Then came the night of the Pineapple Ball, the event of the season. Come one, come all. Ladies and gents in their costumes so fine, sipping pineapple punch, oh how divine. Grand Lady Buzzyboots would rather be there, with her swagging finger and disapproving stare. Pants have no place on a lady, she'd say, and that's how it has been and how it should stay. その女. Penny gazed at her gowns all lined up in a row. If I can't wear pants, then I don't want to go. I love to dress up, just as pretty as can be, but underneath it all, I still have to be me. それは何かな? Once at the ball, Penny forgot all of her troubles. The courtyard was brilliant with bubbles and balls. as the crowds climbed down the palace staircase. None could imagine what would happen or take place. For just at the moment, a terrible wail came from high above a long furry tail. Could be hanging down from the north's wall. It was the royal kitty, trying not to fall. Miss Fussy, screeched Penny. The music then stopped. Every eye turned upward, every jaw dropped. Carrie Plank went, the cat in the moat. Down below, her royal coat soaked from ear to toe. うちのライトちょっとおかしい。それごめんなさい、みんな。Prince Felipe cried out as he fell to his knees. She cannot swim, someone help her, please. I'd save her myself, but my suit would get wet. I'm not dressed to rescue the poor royal pet. Penny was ready, no need for preparing, to spring into action no matter what she was wearing. The crowd thought she would for sure go in the gown she'd be sunk, but under the skirt she had her pink swimming trunks. それはちょっと難しかったよ。英語か。She dived into the water and swam toward the cat and rescued Miss Fuzzy in 5 seconds flat. Miss Fuzzy in arm, Penny swam back around, slipped on her shoes, and shook off her gown. She handed the cat to the grateful Prince P, who said, in dresses or trunks, you're braver than me. The kingdom rejoiced and sang Penny's praise, the pineapple princess, always amazed. Lady Bussy Boots took the stage and grabbed Mike. From now on, princesses should wear whatever they like. We've all learned a lesson from Penny today. Sometimes our dresses can get in the way. The Pineapple Kingdom proudly agreed. We must be ourselves as the lady decreed. The princess helped when no one else could. She saved the day, just as a royal should. Penny smiled and said as she started to dance, it's what princesses do. This is why we wear pants. それはかわいい。ありがとうみんな。